Our opening session will be exploring the shifts of Saudi Arabia, as Minister said, and where are we now? I'm sure we all know that Kingdom has launched and embarked a strategy to establish themselves as a global AI and data leader by 2030. The plan includes training over 20,000 specialists and experts. And to talk more about the Saudi with AI, we have to welcome on stage Midas again. And Ibrahim Al-Hamid, Managing Director of Unifund. Ibrahim. Also, we have to welcome Omar Show, Managing Director of Kijani. Omar.
So, thank you very much for coming, Ibrahim, Omar. So, I hope your mic is okay.
Good morning. It was.
Okay, perfect. So, as we have discussed before, KSA has a very extensive plan in terms of AI and data and how to build it. And so, in Unifornica and in Hijabi, basically, what are your thoughts on how the AI is going to be launched, or if it's already there? So what are your thoughts how it's going to change the industry in general? First, let's start from there.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you, MMA, for this opportunity to host us and have us speak here. So probably if I say something now, in 5 minutes, AI will change, because that's how rapidly AI changes stuff. And definitely marketing space is no exception. We've seen the adoption of different users around the globe when ChatGPT introduced their capabilities out there, and how corporates and companies went very, very quickly and fastly adopting this technology and augmenting them in their services. So I believe the shape will never be the same as it used to be in January, or as it used to be in December, let alone how it used to be in the last 5 years. So I believe it's a huge opportunity for those who definitely can augment AI capabilities, and definitely it's a big risk for those who would get behind it. It's an exciting time around the globe, and I'm pretty sure that all the marketeers in the world basically are in active debates on what they will do regarding their marketing strategies. Whether they will rely on the old traditional methods and ways of basically using marketing technologies, or they would basically evolve to new ways, new methods, new partners in the space. And this is exactly what we are thinking about in Elephonic. In Elephonic, because you asked me how we're thinking about this, one of the industries, one of the pillars basically that formulate our strategy is how can we help companies build their marketing strategies? How can we basically make marketing more efficient, more automated from a technology perspective, not from a content perspective, not from methodology perspective, but how can we assist businesses basically hire and employ the best capabilities, technological capabilities, to basically catch the wave and be more efficient and basically getting their message across it.
Thank you so much. So, Omar, any thoughts on that?
Good morning, everyone. Thanks for having me. I think with AI, my biggest idea about it is that I can't believe this is happening again. And to be honest, it's very exhausting, and trying to cope with the insane pace the development is with AI and its usage and integration in marketing and advertising. 10 years ago, we were all discussing digital transformation, and it's been a decade-long effort. And, I can't say that to a large degree that it happened. Still a lot of places around the world and also in the region are still struggling with digital transformation. So now the advent of AI sort of makes things a bit complicated. However, there is another side of the coin to that, whereas that it also helps streamline things, and it actually optimizes the time it takes to perform a lot of mundane tasks, actually. So from a marketing perspective, when you look at its usage, for example, we're an advertising agency. Our DNA is digital. However, we do end-to-end services. I've been, for the last year, we had a lot of experimentation with AI and seeing where are the areas that we can use AI to implement it to better our process, and also, as Ibrahim mentioned, not to fall behind, because probably I think fear was the biggest, push for us to start running. I think we identified around 4 or 5 areas. Creative, I'll dive into them. Creative, strategy building, media planning and buying, comms and daily operation, and technology rollout. So these are 4 or 5 areas that we implemented AI in. For strategy, I think this is the cornerstone. First of all, a lot of our teams, whether in account management or strategy teams, they used to rely on common sense, and logic to sort of advise and consult. And this was always a challenge because we always try to, push them in the directions of you need to be database, you need to have more insights and so forth. And we have a lot of data starting points. We have a consumer insights unit, we have the media team as well. But then again, they need something to, quicken the pace for data gathering and fact checking, right? So strategy was a starting point for that. So now all of our team employ AI, namely Bard and ChatGPT, to do market research, quick market analysis, identify gaps, SWOT, and even generate ideas to help, advise clients. And these are things that help position us now into the AI space that we are, our team and a lot of our team can effectively consult, clients. This is one area. It also helps with strategy building, and others. The creative space maybe is one of the biggest areas that, got impacted with AI. And I say that on every single level. Master visual creation, key visual art. 1 year ago, I know with AI adoption, it's like the 5 stages of grief. First, it's sadness, because a lot of people say, "What the hell? My skill set as an artist or as a copywriter, am I going to be replaced?" It's denial. Actually, first stage is denial, and then it's anger because how the hell is this happening to me? And then it is negotiation. So they start playing around, but still not accepting. And then it is, acceptance. And I have actually multiple cases where some of our art team, senior leadership, 35 plus year old, they were pushing back against AI and very audibly in the organization. That was a year ago. We were trying to standardize storyboarding and master visual and so forth, and a lot of the team didn't want it. Fast forward exactly 1 year to date, and now every single person in our entire 180 people team uses ChatGPT integrated with DALL-E. They use AI video tools such as HeyGen. So now it has become a standardized process. So the creative realm, whether copywriting, generating ideas, vetting ideas, seeing if something was done before, the creative realm got really impacted. And all the other, I don't want to eat up a lot of time, but all the other areas as well, comms, email generation, script writing, data pulling, helping our insights team as well. So across the board, AI has been integrated in the agency. I'm sure this is the case. I know that other, competitors and big names are investing tens of millions of dollars to actually create AI tools that are standardized across their global agencies. And we're in that same space. And I think this also helps in cost optimization. and with getting and efficient, absolutely, time efficiency and cost, because the issue right now is scaling, right? Everybody wants us to develop 1,000 assets per day right now, and we have like 10 people worth. So how do you? AI has really enabled us to do optimization, whether in cost, whether in speed, media scaling assets, and so forth. So that's a general reflection on AI with marketing and advertising.
Yeah, it's really a long list. So coming back to Ibrahim, I know originally you come from the data side of things. So on a data perspective, so where does data stand with all of these new developments, you think?
It's at the end of the day, if you look at AI, without data, you basically don't have an artificial intelligence. And I like what Umar has mentioned. I cannot believe this happening again. I remember 15 years ago when basically the hype of data in some industries started, people basically got puzzled a little bit what they do with the data. And the task that you use to take them three days now can be done in 3 minutes. The data that was available back then is basically produced every second now with basically the adoption of digital assets that you have out there, like phones, cookies, and website or whatnot. So data is definitely available. Users basically produce data every step of the way. If you think about it, every one of us has probably a smartphone. With smartphones, basically, you produce data points every now and then it comes to the business capabilities of capturing these data elements and items and making sense out. So data is no longer a challenge. Probably the challenge is not the availability of the data, or probably is the mechanics and mechanisms of actually collecting data and making use out of it and bringing insight out of it. The other challenge that I see, because yes, marketeers are aware of basically the value that data can bring, but also regulators are actually keeping an eye on this. In Europe, there was the GDPR in 2016. Guess what? In Saudi, we had the PDPL that will go into effect. They tried to get it into effect last year, but there was a pushback. They get it into effect this year. PDPL is very similar to GDPR, probably is even harsher a little bit. So that also produces another challenge, another constraint on basically whoever would like to use data, typically to use some insightful content into the picture. And I think if you don't have a strategy, if you don't have basically a way, if you don't have a mechanism to use data in compliance with these regulations that are always changing, because I cannot believe this is happening again. I like the word, because things will keep changing, by the way. So you have always to be ready to use basically the data and to comply with the regulations, because simply if you don't, you'll be like I said. So data usage has evolved over time. It will continue to evolve from both ends, from the availability perspective, also from the regulation perspective as well, going forward.
Perfect. So question to you both probably. So where things that are at, data is evolving. We have the PDPL now for the KSA, and AI is there, so everybody is trying to use. So what is the strategy for a brand marketer to follow now? So what should they do? How do they combine the traditional ways with the I cannot believe it's happening again ways?
I think the starting point just at the end of these strategies is a matter of formatting, right? It's a puzzle building exercise, and what's different is, it's a different starting point. So now you can get a lot of consumer insights and also product level insights, whether from commonly accessible tools such as Bard and ChatGPT and so forth. But you can also, I think, a lot of tools right now that are specialized in market research also employ a lot of AI. And I don't want to say 100%, but they are all at least claiming that they do. We ourselves do. We have an AI component that's paired with a human component. I was just talking to Gindi today about this. But at the end of the day, it's just a matter of, quicker and better access to information and data that can help you build better, more insightful, and efficient marketing strategy. And also now you get the extra benefit of having almost instantaneous feedback on your marketing strategies and whether they're working or not. Obviously, that's not from these tools that I mentioned, but from other more established marketing research tools. In Kijami, we have a consumer insights unit that does exactly that. For example, so we help them with data that helps all actually. That level of insight help our strategists to build communication strategies that fit into marketing strategies coming from the brands. And then and it also helps our creative teams in their creative build-up and conceptualization. Also helps with our media team. But then when the campaign, if it's a campaign, when the campaign goes live, you can have almost daily consumer insights and reports on whether and how your campaign is performing. And this helps on all levels. This helps on a business strategy level to see, if your product fits or not, what changes that you need to employ, whether your marketing strategy fits or not. So it's an abundance of data that helps with the starting point, helps with audit, and then helps with reporting that makes you either develop your product or develop your strategies to get your product across.
If I may add as well, I think Omar, you mentioned that actually generating also creative assets used to take a couple of days for intent resources to produce a creative asset. Now it's way faster, way more creative. So I'll start from there. So I think if you don't deploy the capabilities of Gen AI and AI that actually are available in the market, again, I keep saying I don't be lagging behind, but you really would be lagging behind much, much faster. So I think that's a fantastic also starting point. Another thing for marketeers, I think to be aware, we talked a lot about data a lot and AI a lot. It's being commoditized, it's being commodity, meaning that everybody had an access to it, including the consumer. So the consumer is very, very well aware. So the traditional billboards, the traditional ads are no longer live. So we have to rethink how basically you can reach your consumer in a different way using the capabilities that you have in your mind. In your mind. So one is build a capability strategy or catch up with the capabilities of the market. Two, strive for a personalized, basically targeting or experience for your clients, your business consumers and customers. And number three, yes, consumers and customers would like to have a little bit of personalization, but they also value privacy. If they know that you're actually not securing your data, probably they will not be with you again. So the third element that I would think about marketing should pay attention to is don't take compliance easy. Don't take privacy at ease. It is a serious thing that not just the regulator care about, also the consumers care about.
Actually, I have a point here to add with regards to, I was reflecting on MMA's opening of the Saudi chapter. And, and like MMA, a lot of international brands and regional brands are also opening up in Saudi Arabia and opening up in a lot of Middle Eastern territories as well. I think one of the biggest challenges with marketeers, I'm not even talking about business owners, but marketeers is how to market products across multiple regions. We're producing something now for a P&G brand, and it's a MENA campaign. And they want to talk to around 7 different dialects, in addition to English, from Maghrib all the way to Yemen, and anything in between. So we were faced with the reality of it's either that we're going to get 5 or 6 distinct casts, full casts, massively increasing costs, and increasing shooting days, and increasing basically just logistical nightmare. Or we could try something new. And what we did was we researched quite a bit, and we found a new tool that does simultaneous translation to original scripts in multiple dialects and languages. and also does lip syncing to video. So now we actually tried it on our CEO. We got him first, we got a still picture for it, and we made him speak in German, and we made him speak in English, and the proof of concept looked really good. So now we're shooting it in a very specific manner to be able to use that AI tool to produce around 6 or 7 different dialects and languages for distribution across the MENA region. That sort of tool really is a game changer, in the efficiency of the creative and production process, and also helps with your marketing budgets and helps brands transcend the limitations of agencies and budgets, primarily budgets. But this is the reality of where we are right now.
Yes, this is really incredible because we hear this from all around the world. I think this was a big challenge for all the marketers so far to actually be able to not only translate but actually make it culturally adapted to the country, related country. And this was a nightmare probably for everyone until now. Oh my God, it's changing again. Okay. Yeah, hashtag. It's a lovely hashtag, by the way. It would have been. So I have a final question. And you said it's very important for the teams to actually adapt and start changing their marketing capabilities and so on. So what do you think? Is it the AI who's going to really take the jobs out of the hand?
% on point. And guess what? You can actually manipulate it to simulate a human behavior as well, like the prompt engineering that Omar has talked about, for example. So they have their own inherited biases as well. However, it is better than human efforts. It's definitely better than the process of getting a mass campaign to everybody and then you get a 10% conversion rate. It's better than actually working on a marketing campaign from, again, point and data perspective on 3 days and then you launch it in the wrong timing, for example. So, and AI has 2 things. You have the unsupervised AI and then you have the supervised AI. The unsupervised AI, let the machine do everything. And that's a very advanced level and it has its own risks. And then you have the supervised learning, which you also have to try the model and see the results of it. So can you be 100% sure? I don't think you can be 100% sure, but you can shoot for a 95% accuracy, 90% accuracy, and that's basically the circle and the goal. It depends on your business objective at the end of the day. My advice is always to keep a supervised approach in your data and your AI models, definitely to produce a good content, to produce a perfect targeting, if a perfect ever exists. And this is, again, the challenge that Omar and Melis talked about, the ever-changing environment, because you'll always have tools and mechanics that can do things better, or seems that they can do things better than what you have in-house. So you have to establish the process around it, and then, of course, you have to establish your business objectives so you can map these together. If my business objective is to launch a campaign, and for example, a reaction to a hashtag that has been created in social media, you cannot take 3 days to catch the wave. If your basically goal is to prepare a campaign for Ramadan, now from now until Ramadan, basically to come up with the perfect list, or if we come up with the perfect campaign, or to come up with the perfect content if we're talking about Gen AI. So it depends on the objectives that you have. It depends on all the capabilities that you have, but you never get to 100% accuracy. Your aim should always be to optimize. This is from a technology perspective. I don't know, Omar.
I agree to all of what you say, and allow me just to elaborate. Maybe I get some more also information from you, Omar. In specifically here, I'm talking about we are working business to business, B2B. We are working on a huge scale, not a retail products, and we have to have huge investments in that. So I need. This was even my goal coming here today. Is there a tools? Is there a way or a future for this? So I can invest in it in Saudi, which is my territory, and in GCC, and to recommend it also to worldwide, our organization worldwide. Is there a tool reliable enough to invest in it, money and resources and time, etc. And what will be the results? As I told you, we have much specific, let's say, target and personas that we are looking into. It's not it's a very technical products and technical line of thinking.
So your business that you serve at the end of the day serves somebody else, right?
Yes, exactly.
Without him persona is at the end of the day is a persona, sir. And again, it comes down to what you'd like to achieve. So to answer that question, a specific tool is a specific set of tools. The answer is it depends. The big enterprises, average big enterprises, they have a 92 marketing tools, marketing tools, 92. The least enterprise that I'm seeing deploy 10 plus marketing tools, technologies at the end of the day to achieve the very same results that you're seeking. Optimal reach and optimal, basically, a route to the end client for my clients. Is the region promising? And I let Amar also comment on this from a market perspective. I believe it is at the end of the day. Whatever business you serve at the end of the day, they have a group of retailers or consumers that contribute to this particular business. So definitely the region is very promising. Definitely the region is exploding. It's huge. Definitely there is an opportunity for marketing tools, the traditional ones and the ones that we're seeing now and the ones that we hadn't seen yet as well. So I'm a big believer in the region, and we can definitely engage in a one-on-one discussion to understand more about your problem. But I believe the opportunity is here, the scale is here, and that will create different problems that maybe doesn't exist in different parts of the world that will need also unique solutions to solve them going forward.
And I'm not sure I understand what kind of tool are you looking for? Are you looking for a data collection tool, or are you looking for a marketing automation tool? Part of it, the data collection is important for me. Targeting and marketing tools is important for me. This is part of what our market, we have an in-house marketing department. It's part of what they are doing. And all the other aspects of marketing process, all the marketing process up to the lead generation, then again, incorporating this information in redesigning our marketing strategy and message. And so, yeah, the short answer is yes, there are tools that actually do end-to-end marketing automation. SAP, believe it or not, is actually a very efficient tool. They have a lot of offering on that front. There are also other tools that help with that. However, answering the first question is the reliability of data. This is a different topic. I would always advise all of our clients to always take data with a grain of salt and with an inquisitive approach. I can't count to you how many times I felt that we're going in and sitting with clients with data that is questionable at best, although it is collected and presented to us by some of the biggest names in AI data collection tools in the world. And it's only today I was talking with my colleague Ahmed Gindi in the car today, and we were reflecting about a meeting that happened a couple of weeks ago. And, our media team were presenting something that I don't want to name the tool, okay? It's massive. It's literally the number one tool for media data. And the data that was being presented, I felt just does not make any sense to the nature of the client that we were sitting with. So, we were reflecting on that after the meeting and that offering. And is it really something that adds value to the conversation? Are we not using the proper parameters to extract the right data? Or is this tool really overselling its capabilities and the reliability of its data? So my advice to my client was, take it with a grain of salt, cross-reference. So you have first-party data. If you don't cross-reference third-party data with your own data, you will never be able to optimize your marketing and business operations. So first-party data is the core of where you should start. It helps you identify channels, target audiences, personas, had to basically understand your product and your audiences and who will engage with your product, especially when it comes to B2B. It's a very specific product, so you need to be zoned in on the right target audiences to avoid spillover into B2C territories who are non-influencing basically for your product. So yeah, and unfortunately, the final thing would say, the reality is, you will always spend some money on experimentation. A lot of our clients come in with no data and they want to start something, and they don't have any first-party data, obviously. So we have to experiment together. Obviously, we get a lot of data, but that doesn't mean it reflects specifically on the product, only on the sector. Once we're launched, we're live, we start spending a month or two or three or a quarter. We have now better data, better visibility on how to optimize campaigns moving forward. I hope that helps. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank you for but because this was.
So let me just interrupt there. I'm sorry, we're a little behind our schedule now. We can continue the conversation apart. Oh my God, it's changing again. It's happening again. So great conversation. Thank you very much, Omar. Thank you, Ibrahim. Thank you very much.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Bades, and thank you, Ibrahim and Omar. Moving to our next session, we will be discovering what's next in data-fueled experience journeys. I would like to welcome